I kind of have my theory on why I feel like the running back position is devalued, but I think it goes back to what you said at the beginning, that you can go and get younger guys that are going to do it. They're going to do it for 5 years, and then once their contracts are up, or 4 or 5 years, once their contract is up, boom, okay, let's go to the next thing and let's go get new ones, and you kind of do that spinning wheel. I mean, I don't know how you see it, but that's kind of the
Yeah,
way I
but
I see it as well.
running backs were gaining a little more like I guess they were gaining some more value with the trend nowadays. Like the Vic Fangio defense really like took off like a wildfire. It's all about limiting the plays on the field. Like Staley runs the same thing. So what offenses did was like counter. Well, just run the football a lot, just dump it off and just get our easy yards and like do the long game. So there was a comeback for the running back. That's why Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard, these guys were having breakout seasons. But then the owners, the GMs, they got smart again. Well, instead of like going for a fourth rounder, a fifth rounder, they just kind of like go to the first rounder or second rounder because they're still going to be cheaper than the guy looking for the second contract. Like Bijan Robinson, could already be a top 10 running back, and he's on his rookie contract. So yeah, they're going to spend more on the draft capital, but they're still not paying as much as whatever Saquon wants. So that's kind of the adjustment. So running backs are showing their value again, this new kind of football, but they found a way to beat it by just getting a second or first round pick. Like Kenneth Walker and Brees Hall, they were second round picks. They were great. So the draft is always going to hurt the running backs. And I think you mentioned it one time, Fernando, like, just do something separately for these running backs to pay them that won't affect the salary cap or whatever it is, because it's getting crazy at this point, or ridiculous for another word. But eventually you got
It
to
might
figure
get
something
worse.
out. It might get worse, and it hasn't helped out. And like I love Barkley, but he's had injury issues. He's not as good as CMC. For him to kind of be the one leading the charge, I don't think he's gonna get 12, $14 million what he was trying to get. Jacobs, I don't see it either. Like if Jacobs, Pollard, and Barkley just say all three of them, let's not sign any contracts unless it's a multi-year deal and the bar is raised again. But players all have to think about themselves, and that's not a bad thing. You have to figure out you got to get your own money. So it's hard to be on the same page, but that's the only way I see it, if they kind of just stand up together and make change.
Am I crazy to think that the running backs kind of had their time and now it's the time of the quarterback? Like the 90s and 2000s were all about running backs. Sean Alexander, LT, um I mean, you had Emmett Smith, like you had so many good running backs around that era, and I thought it was all about the running backs. That all of a sudden it kind of feels like everything shifted, and now it's not their time anymore.